Guys, we're doing a special happy birthday song presented to you by Podcast Club.
Okay.
If you're having a birthday, happy birthday.
Okay, Piara, start.
For me, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to
You.
Happy birthday to you.
I don't think Joy's line was long enough.
Yeah.
Wow.
You want to say
For-
something else?
Happy birthday!
Yay!
Have a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Okay.
A joyful birthday.
It's so Joe.
Oh my god. You know what? We should think about what if we had like a class that we did? Like I know you guys are graduating, but it would be cool if we arranged for Podcast Club to have like a tech class.
We thinking classes already.
That is true.
Yeah.
Who needs
Like
the
a one-off with the tech people at Pule or something. I don't know.
Like a workshop.
Everything
Yeah, like a
good?
workshop.
I'll do it.
A
We're
tech
good,
workshop.
guys. It's been approved.
Okay, we're good.
We can just record.
We just
no, we can
continue.
just leave
Let's
it,
not
yeah.
delete that.
Yeah.
We can keep it.
That's a valuable
Yeah.
content.
That's
We
a
don't wanna
valuable
lose that.
piece
Yep.
of media.
Start from there.
Okay. And we're recording.
You can hear everyone.
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So Lena, you're gonna
Hello.
start.
So, hello everyone. Welcome back to the PCPC or the Pierce College Podcast Club. We're here and we're ready to talk. We're ready to conversate, as one would say. So, we have an interesting topic today. Interesting in that I don't know why, but it is interesting. Today we're talking about relationships, and not just any relationships. We're talking about romantic relationships, which I will start off by saying I have not much experience in. So do not expect a lot from me, but I have a lot of opinions that you will hear by force. I'd like to welcome the rest of our podcasters, but before I do, I'll introduce myself. My name is Lena Gichuki, and I'm the president of the Podcast Club.
I am Joy. I believe I am the current treasurer of the Podcast Club.
I'm Sadie, and I'm just here. I'm just some guy.
She's the vibes.
I'm the vibes guy.
My name's Sean. I'm the vice president of the Podcast Club.
Hi, my name is Mira. I'm just a member. Yay.
Yes.
Also the vibes.
Our two new members.
Yay! So, we have quite a list to get through today. The first thing I wanted us to talk about was dating app experiences. And this don't have to be experiences that are firsthand. They could be friends' experiences. They could also just be opinions. You know?
I have a suggestion since we have so many points on the list. Do you want to just say all the points, and if anyone wants to talk about a specific point first, we can start from there.
Okay.
Just a
Mention
little
all the
worried.
points, and then
Yeah.
if anyone wants to go. Also, I wanted to ask, since I've never asked before, can I get pronouns? Everyone's pronouns?
Yeah.
A she, her.
She, her.
I use any of them.
He, him.
She, her, too.
Okay. Yes. Good. So I'm gonna tell you guys all of them.
So these are the ideas that Lena and I came up with. We don't have to talk about these, but just some reference that
Yeah.
we can.
So the first one was dating app experiences / opinions. Second one was love languages. The third one was expectations in relationships. Fourth was attachment styles. Fifth was like buzzwords in social media, but really could be like how social media affects relationship these days. And sixth was what counts as cheating and what are the boundaries of
You okay?
exclusivity. And the last one was boundaries between partners. Bloopers.
You look so startled.
All right.
Like,
Now
what?
we're good.
Did you hear that, Pierre?
Yeah, I can
We're
hear
good,
it.
we're good.
I can hear it.
startled too.
Okay. Does anyone wanna go? I really don't know how
Did
to
any of these
navigate this.
I definitely missed the last few with.
You know, honestly, when you left, we were still on dating apps, and then we just
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's got favorites? Like, what am I going to say what their favorite one is here, and then we can prioritize those.
Um,
I have a story about that, or I'd like to talk about that.
This is on Discord, so
Let me
you guys.
check.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Or you could come up with your own
That's
topics
true.
if
Yeah.
there's
That's
something that you think you
Yeah.
have more to say on.
For sure.
I see.
I think I like this kind of episode making because it's really like an organic conversation, like the ones we usually do have
Yeah.
and hope we recorded.
For sure.
Yeah.
What's the opposite word of capstone?
Capstone?
I don't think that has a natural opposite word.
What's a
What does it mean?
So I remember hearing this from Huberman's podcast channel, if you guys know what that is. And they had one episode on relationships, and the guest that he had over was some kind of specialist on this concept of relationship, especially on romantic relationship, and she explored the difference between capstone relationship and the other one, cornerstone. I think that's the one. So I don't remember which one is connected to which experience, but one is you are a part of this relationship and you guys grow together, whereas so you guys meet and started having this relationship where you guys both are relatively immature and you find out your way together, whereas the other one is you guys have already established your own styles and ideologies or whatever, and you're just trying to, I don't remember the goal for that one, but it's that difference, if you see what I mean. One is from the start, the other one is just you have some kind of foundation there and you go above.
I was just saying I have not heard of that description for it. I would
What's
love
the-
to hear a link for that. It's like.
Do you know which name goes to which one?
I will look it up right now.
Can someone help me find that paper?
It's on episodes, I think. I do not know how to use Discord.
Totally, like, where am I?
No, in episode 1.
Oh, it's okay.
That's episode.
Okay.
On episode.
Okay. Wait.
Alright, do it again. There's gotta be one.
Okay.
Let me check.
We did.
Whispering
Bro, I
that close
clicked
to a microphone is diabolical.
Look how adorable
I feel
our
we're
clothes
so
is.
close to getting there. Wherever this is.
Alright, let's just.
Episode ID.
Which
Alright,
smart would
why don't
you be?
I'm gonna find this so fast.
Which
Yeah,
smart would you be?
Who wants to
What do you
just
mean
send it to me?
It's on episode 1.
It's
You
an
have to know them.
episode.
Yeah, it's right there.
Right there.
Episode.
It's on Google.
Click on this
Can I go on
one.
Google?
It's this.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
we
that's
found
research
it.
right
Download
here.
it. It's
Oh, we found it.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
We can do it,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then fail.
Yeah, let's go.
It's so true.
Oh yeah, the swears. Okay, they're called that.
Okay.
I found the difference in the definition. So, in the context of relationships, particularly marriage, a cornerstone relationship is viewed as a foundational building block where the focus is on shared life goals, mutual support, and co-development from the beginning. Whereas a capstone relationship, on the other hand, is seen as the culmination of individual achievements and identity, where partners seek to confirm their established selves and find shared values rather than co-developing.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah, you already have an established self when you enter this relationship, whereas the other one, you guys co-develop that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it just for the just for me, could you which one's which again?
A capstone is
Capstone.
the one that does not have, well,
It's not the co-building.
Yeah.
That's capstone, and the one that is co-growth.
Think of it as
That's
capstone, like you
cornerstone.
already taught there.
You're already at your peak self,
Yep.
so
Wow.
to speak.
Yep.
I feel like subtly we all think about this. Just like we
Yeah.
didn't put words to it. Like, do you want to like meet someone and then you guys are like way different, but it's like fun, like figuring it out, or is it like, do you want to meet someone who's like just like you, type stuff, like personality wise and goals wise? Is that kind of really it?
I also, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was thinking about it in that, like for a lot of people, I feel, I don't know, maybe for me, I really like to think about relationships in that, like the way people think, like two incompletes come together to make a whole.
Yeah.
Words like they're my other half and stuff. They just don't really. I just really don't think of relationships like that. In that, I think it's like two whole, complete people who come together to like because they're compatible and they wanna be together. And that's kind of like what you said with a capstone relationship, where it's already people who are already established and achieved, and they just want someone to share that together with. In that, a cornerstone relationship is two people who are not where they want to be probably, but they want to come together to establish that together, like build their empire together, which is not what I like. For me personally, but I see how it works for some people.
Well, you don't like when people are like if your partner's like really different. Is that what you're saying, or the opposite?
I don't really see a relationship working for me that I have not established who I am outside of that relationship. We could be different people.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But this is like cornerstone relationship is like you're both kind of immature and you kind of don't really know yourselves, and then you come together and build this
That's
sense
fundamental
of
in cornerstone.
identity
It's
together.
Like,
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and a
Well,
typical
a capstone
Yeah.
is two people who are like probably more mature. They
but you know what? That's so
cheap.
cornerstone is so Disney, and capstone is just real life.
well,
It only
I
works
feel
in
like
Disney, bro. It's
sometimes-
it goes up in flames.
I think.
go ahead. Yes.
Well, just something that while you guys were talking, this is a really cool structure. I haven't heard of this kind of description before for romantic relationships, and that's really interesting to me. I wonder too if it also has to just do with like what phase of your life you're in. Like some people, you know, maybe from a young age, they're very much in the mindset that they're looking for something very structurally stable or something like that. Like maybe that's something that works out from you from the time that you're young. That's your preference. But then for other people, they prefer to have that like maybe you aren't trying to set hard goals with someone that you're in a cornerstone relationship. That's not your priority. It's more on it's more on like living your life and having fun than it necessarily is about like long-term plans like that too. I wonder.
Makes
Something
sense.
I was gonna say kind of ties with what Sadie just said. So like a typical example of a cornerstone relationship happens when both parts of that relationship are still in high school, so that they haven't been really and getting so much experience on society yet. But whereas a capstone relationship might happen in the workplace, so like when you already have a work or job and have some kind of work experience, and you have that experience dealing with the world as a whole, so you have established some foundations on what you think on certain things and your opinions on dealing with different people, sort of.
True. I love that. I love that you brought that up. I think one of the things I think one of the things I wanted to talk about was love languages. I'm just trying to bridge into something else so we can get moving. What did you guys say your love languages are? First of all, which ones are there?
Yeah, for reference, there are
So
5.
we have words of affirmation,
Act of service.
Acts of service,
Quality time.
quality time,
Physical touch.
physical touch, and gift giving.
Gift, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Sorry. I would say for me, it will probably, it always has been since I was young, words of affirmation. But recently, I'm starting to realize maybe being more mature, I'm more into acts of service than just words, because people do be lying.
I was like, man, words of affirmations, that's gotta be the worst one. Like, objectively, not subjectively. Like, just objectively. What's the other ones? Oh yeah, physical touch might be next on the worst ones list.
What?
Actually, no, wait.
Let's rephrase this question. This is top 10 love languages. Go.
Love language
Top
tier
10,
list.
top 10, I just 5.
I feel like love languages are just
Top
like,
5.
I feel like love languages are inherently subjective. Like some people, the top 2 would be words of affirmation and physical touch. Whereas for Sean, that's clearly...
Wait, okay. So like physical touch for me is like number 1.
Me
But okay. I don't know. I was talking to like Frank and Peter the other day. So you know what? In romantic relationships, for some reason, I don't like touching. I feel like that's an issue.
Interesting.
Interesting.
There's like an emotional vulnerability there.
There's something to unpack, but
Yeah.
we won't get into it. We'll let you unpack it. Yeah.
So we just want to make sure everyone is clear when we talk about love language and love languages. So it's in which way you feel most loved, like which way is easier for you to feel that you're loved. So like there isn't a better one really, or a worse one, because that's how you feel.
Yeah. And also to add to that, it doesn't have to be in a romantic relationship. Like I would say probably my mom's has to be like physical touch, and my mom is just like really into hugging like everyone and like she'll just sit next to you and just that like scratching your hair, not strangers ass. So like it doesn't have to be like a romantic thing, or it's just like a way that she feels loved, like when she's close to people and stuff.
And on top of that, I would also say like like you can have a different one that you feel better receiving, and also a different one that you give out. Like, so the way that you express affection to someone might be in a different way than you like to receive affection to, which is I think an important part of that too.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, for me, I like physical touch, but I don't like my friend just too physical touch to me. Like some of my friends here, I don't say their name, but when we meet them, we're like, they had, oh hi Piara, and then they hug and they hug and they pat my head and they like do something like that, and I feel uncomfortable.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel uncomfortable about it, but this is how they have their feeling.
Because you just don't love them.
Yeah, that's right. That is true.
I saw a TikTok the other day that said something like, when someone touched me but they're not in my pre-approved list of people who can touch me. I'm like, excuse me, and no one knows that list but you still get so offended. You're like, that's not what?
Yeah, I have that list too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna share further than that. So I shouldn't
Everyone
have said
drop your top 10 people who are allowed to be near you and touch you in any
Who
way.
can touch you
Let's
is This is not the Diddy list.
Oh.
Okay. Sadie, what would you say your love language
Oh
is?
gosh, I feel like that's an interesting one. I feel like honestly, if I very much care about someone, it'll be different. Like if I really care about someone, probably like all of them. But if it's like, you know, more about like people I engage with every day, I think, at least coming from me, like how I express it, probably acts of service and gift giving. That's probably the way that I express affection most. But as far as it comes to like how I prefer people to regard me, that's a good one. I guess I haven't thought about that side of it too much. I think I'd need to look at a list for a minute and be like, wait, everything's wrong.
Yeah, is it in my list?
Like, what's going on? I don't
What
know.
about you, Joy?
First of all, I want to say I'm so grateful that my father brought this topic up to me because all of my siblings, we were on this studying abroad pathway, like when we were planning it. So he brought it up before we leave the house, and I was able to talk to him about it. And what I said to him that time was quality time. That's just how I feel like I receive or feel more easily to perceive the love that others have for me. So that's the way how I receive affection or love. As far as for how do I give, I don't know. I am not sure. It might be quality time as well, just because I think that's a very important factor. Like if I care someone, I would say time is something I value so much. So if I like this person or I love this person, I would be willing to give that part of myself to them, which is time. And quality time means good time. Yes.
Wow.
That makes sense.
Is compliments like words of affirmation?
Yeah.
They can be.
I think that's my worst one.
That's your least favorite one?
Well, I like giving wise,
Your
and
worst.
I'm awkward. I'm awkward at receiving them too.
I
Like
know.
I don't like for example, like you know, Joey. Joey likes to give compliments,
He does.
and I just sit there like, oh man, that's crazy.
I
Like,
remember,
thanks.
like, once I told Zhan, like, he's the funniest guy I've met, and he was uncomfortable. He was like,
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I get that, though.
I feel like that with gift giving.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
my
yeah.
Like if
worst
someone
one.
give you a
There's
gift.
like some suspicion almost. Like there are like implications about
Yeah,
it. So-
exactly.
You don't
and
feel
every
safe,
time
yeah.
someone
Feel-
gives me something,
Yeah,
I feel
uh-huh.
like I have to
yeah,
reach.
there's some kind of...
I have to, like, there's some expectation for me to give something back, and that makes me so, I feel so indebted to them, and I don't like that. So most of the times I just like, no.
Yeah, I feel that too. Like
Yeah.
just so I always give it back.
No, because my love language is sending gift. Like I like to buy some small thing for them because I want to, like, I don't know how to say, but let them happy with that small gift and that they deserve to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just give it because they deserve it. Like
Yeah.
I don't give because I want they to give me back. Because they deserve it. They don't have to give me back because I just myself I want to give them.
Yeah,
That's,
that makes so much sense.
and
Yeah.
I would say, like, for me, I also feel like gift giving is definitely something that is an expressive one for me.
Yeah,
But when it
definitely.
comes to gift giving and words of affirmation, if like receiving them, I feel like it's the kind of thing where I appreciate it a lot
Yeah,
from
that's
people who
right.
are close to me.
Yeah, that's right.
But at first, like if it's someone I don't know super well, I don't know their intentions, there is just sort of that, like it's a lot more uncomfortable, you know? Like I would probably say I like to receive words of affirmation more than the others, but I don't necessarily want compliments from people all of the time.
Yeah,
There's a
that's
level
what-
of distrust there,
because
maybe.
we just give you gift because you
Yeah.
deserve it.
Exactly, yeah.
You don't have to give
We
anything
think you
back.
deserve it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
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 It's so crazy how so many things and like that are so much up to interpretation, because everyone can just, interpret things their own way.
Yeah.
Anyways, another topic you guys are interested in, or should I come on with my arrangements?
You should do
Your
attachment
arrangements?
styles.
Attachment
I want
styles. I
to.
was thinking of that one.
Ooh.
That's cool.
So, which attachment styles are there?
I don't know so much about attachment styles. So
Yeah,
if
me
anyone could
too.
Give a
Let's
quick
pull a
breakdown.
list up.
Yes.
Let's
yes,
pull up a list.
Sadie.
Let's do a list.
Yes, okay.
So
I
there
think
are.
she's gonna do a list.
I'm gonna do a list, guys.
Okay.
You ready for this?
That's-
Okay.
I am.
4. I understand there are generally 4 attachment styles that are recognized.
Yeah.
The first one being anxious attachment style. Things that could be under this list include highly sensitive to criticism,
I'm just like,
needs approval from others, jealous and clingy tendencies, difficult being alone,
That's the one.
low self-esteem, feels unworthy for love, intense fear of rejection. So we're just gonna go. These actually what red flag are you guys basically?
You're basically telling me what it is. What's your red flag? Oh, there's that.
flag.
We should
Thank
do
you.
as our
Thanks.
next
Oh,
topic.
That
thank
fits on your head. It wouldn't fit on mine.
We should do as
I have
our.
a small temple.
We should do as our
I found these
next.
in the ground. Yeah, I found these in the ground somewhere.
oh,
See, it would give you a headache though, probably, but it fits.
no one know you were sleeping.
He looks so cool right now.
Yes.
Dude, it looks. Wait.
Damn, this guy's from the Matrix.
We should
Oh,
do
man.
as our next topic.
Wait, one of them isn't a red flag though.
No, they're not all red flags.
Yeah, like 3 of them are,
yeah.
and one isn't.
Yeah.
And you should be
Yeah.
one.
Ideally, a healthy, healed person is one of them. But
I was saying we should do as our next topic something like this is just to lighten things a little, like something like what's your biggest ick or like what's your red flag, because you know icks are not like.
But you don't like
something that's
attachment styles?
No, I'm saying we
Just
should do this and
afterwards.
then afterwards we'll do
Roasting
something like
ourselves.
kind of like
Mm.
kind of like more lighthearted.
I
Yeah,
bet.
yeah,
yeah.
I can continue reading
Yes,
them if we
yes.
would like.
I want to give the definition of.
Yo, my I'm sorry.
I want to give the definition of attachment styles first before
Okay,
we
yeah,
actually list all the.
Yeah.
So attachment styles refer to the characteristic ways individuals form and maintain relationships heavily influenced by early childhood experiences with caregivers. So with that,
Fantastic
the 4
summary.
styles are.
We had anxious, which I listed off. There's also avoidant, which includes symptoms like persistently avoids intimacy, feels a strong sense of independence, uncomfortable expressing feelings, has a hard time trusting, and commitment issues. The third one is categorized as the disorganized or fearful avoidant. This is someone who fears rejection, is unable to regulate emotions, has contradictory behaviors, has high levels of anxiety, has difficulty trusting others as well, has signs both as a mix of avoidant and anxious attachment styles. And then the fourth one is just secure. You can regulate your emotions, you can trust people easily, you effectively communicate, you seek emotional support when necessary, you're comfortable being alone, and you have the ability to self-reflect.
Damn.
You know what's crazy?
A lot of information.
What's crazy?
Every time
it's a
she
lot.
read all of those, other than secure, I was like, damn, that's me. Oh, no, that's me.
You were
Oh,
taking hit
That's
points.
me. I was
You were
just
like,
like
And then you read every green flag. It's like, error.
yeah.
404 not
So
found.
when I think I would fall into, and I'm working on this, I would fall into disorganized or fearful avoidant. I'm very, other than fears rejection, basically everything else of like I have a hard time regulating my emotions or even like understanding them myself. Like sometimes I'm just like, what are these feelings? I just don't like it. Yeah. And then contradictory behaviors, I think we can all attest to.
I didn't want to say it.
I didn't want to say it.
I really didn't.
High levels of anxiety. I do have, and I have difficulty trusting others, which I would also say I have difficulty trusting others, but also I'm also over trusting of the wrong people. Like I just either don't give anyone no chance. I don't give someone any chance, or I just blindly trust someone else, which is. I heard you. Okay.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I like how easy it is to deflect with those things on, right?
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Like I feel so much more bigoted with these songs.
Okay.
All right, let me chill. I don't.
And then signs, and then I do have signs of both anxious and avoidant, which is why I felt like all of them made sense to me.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Yeah, that was.
So I'll list them self-aware.
That's
That's a start.
We
Well,
love
see,
a
clearly-
self-aware person.
Yeah.
There are some symptoms of secure because you can self-reflect. So
I'm already getting there.
You're winning in the end.
Yeah.
This is like
It's two
like
dimensions.
astrology if it was real.
Yeah.
What
We're
sign
doing
are
the wrong
you?
astrology.
Do you know what sign you are? Oh,
Virgo?
we're the same one.
When were you born?
Yeah, we're September 20th.
You're both Virgo.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Lena's like
Yeah.
we like share the birthday almost.
Nice. So you guys like hypothetically, if astrology was real, you guys kind of like Virgo at each other. You're like, oh.
Do Virgos supposed to like Virgos?
No.
Really?
Virgos.
I was into it like for like a month during COVID.
So you just
And
like
I
sensed
just
it off
know.
me, or did you like learn my birthday then decided to like confirmation
No.
bias and prove it that like Virgos don't like each other?
It's just your personality, unfortunately. Sorry, no, I'm joking.
Oh, damn.
I am joking.
This feels like a sport, and I'm the net in the middle.
I'm
Shameless
joking.
Batman plugs.
Okay, someone else, please.
How about you, Joy? Do you have any feelings on this subject?
I found a graph that I think it would be helpful for folks to understand it better. So there are two dimensions. One is low avoidance or high avoidance. The other dimension is low anxiety and high anxiety. So if you have low avoidance and low anxiety, you're secure. And then if you have high anxiety and high avoidance, you'll be a fearful style. And then low anxiety with high avoidance will be avoidant, and low avoidant and high anxiety will be anxious.
I'm
Which to
cooked.
me,
Like, no. Like, these explanations are cooking me. Like, the names.
yeah.
Like-
There's more than just those four.
No, it's just the same
Do you want
four.
to point this at? It's just showing the same four, but on like a graph scale. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it shows the difference better.
I think they're closing.
I think so, but they
Okay.
tend to let us
I
be
got
in
it.
here, though, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Would you like to? Where do you fall?
I, at this stage, would say that I fall under the avoidant section.
I was avoiding talking.
Okay.
Congratulations on
She
that.
avoided talking
Congratulations
about
on that, by the way.
Yeah. Like that's all you're getting. Okay.
Yeah, and if I have anything else to share, I will come back.
Okay.
But
Okay.
for now,
Classic.
not yet.
Classic example. From one to
Kinda
another.
avoid-
Because I would say for me that it's probably, I would say, somewhere between avoidant and secure. I don't think I have a lot
Damn
of
it, Sadie, I
anxiety
tried to
when it
give
comes
you
to
credit.
those things. Give me credit?
I said secure in my head.
Oh, hey.
I tried.
Well, okay.
For
But you
Sadie,
told the truth.
I thought
We're
you
just
were secure
assigning
too.
people. What? Oh my gosh. Well, I think you know, I generally try not to practice the avoidant things. I don't think they're generally they don't tend to come up too much in my relationships, but there's still some presence of them for sure. I think maybe I experience the echoes of an avoidant attachment style. But that's how I would diagnose myself.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Let's see here. I think disorganized for me. So that's the combination, attachment and avoidance. Or wait.
You get the 2-for-1 deal.
Oh, yeah, 2 for 1 is crazy. So that's avoidant and anxious. But I would say growing up, so I've had 2 relationships. In high school, I had 1, and I was like hella anxious. Like, you know, because like, and I think it's true. It comes from maybe like the way you were raised. Like my mom was with me like my whole childhood and like babied me through it. So it's like, you know, you want that at first in your first relationship, especially if you don't have like a strong sense of self. So that's how I was like operating all the time. And then like my ex-girlfriend found that like very unattractive, so she left. And then, dude, I'm making that sound so sad. But I was like, oh my god, dude, I'm so, I was like, what? And then she left. And then the silence. Like, don't worry, I look cool. Like, you're crying under the glasses, aren't you? All right. So, with the second one, I had a girlfriend last year, and I would say I was trying to work to be like in a secure relationship because like I spent a lot of years like between the first and the second one being like, yeah, you know what, this is what I need to do. Like I failed on that part. Like in my next relationship going into that, like I'm gonna do that. But then when it's her first relationship too, like she's like got these attachment styles that she don't work on, and it's like, you know, it makes me come to learn that attachment styles that aren't secure is self-sabotage. Like you're ruining it. Like you're actively ruining what's going well for you in life. Like avoidant attachment, bro, you're literally avoiding what's going good for you. That's literally like someone's saying like, hi, how's your day going? And then you're like, you just don't text back for 4 days. And then it's like, all right.
It's a non-attachment style.
Yeah,
you got
yeah,
no
yeah.
attachments.
But I would say like people, some people who like, but you know, it's like avoidant attachment. I learned like those people still crave.
Oh yeah.
That's that love, but like they don't want to express it for irrational fears. And I would say anxious people is like they crave that love, but they're not good at like suppressing it. Like if they don't have that constant affirmation from their partner, which is like really freaking exhausting. So like my fault to like her. I know it's been like 5 years. I blocked her. Wait, no. Yeah, okay, wait, yeah, I blocked her. So it's like, who am I saying sorry to? But yeah. Dude, I don't know why I'm talking like that. It's just these shades.
The glasses do it, man.
No.
We should all take it. This is just talking shit.
So when it's someone else's turn, just wear the glasses, and it's just like you don't care anymore.
You can say so much more. You can.
But yeah, totally. Like I feel like that's the way like we're wired, but we should be working towards secure relationship styles. If that's something people in this room even want, like relationships, like healthy habits and stuff, respecting boundaries and stuff.
Right.
Do you know, on a light note, that sunglasses were made so that in court cases, they weren't sunglasses, were just dark glasses at that point. So that in court cases, judges could ensure their emotions when the stuff was being, so that they wouldn't sway the crowd and stuff.
That's crazy.
Which is what Zhan is doing now. He doesn't want to show emotion.
I just feel like I'm aura farming.
You're aura farming right
That's
now?
what it feels like. Like I feel my aura.
I need to get you a pair of these, man.
You got me one. What are we talking about?
I'm keeping these.
I think it's this yellow tint. That's just makes you like just like mellow yellow.
Mellow yellow.
My God.
You're feeling mellow yellow right now?
I'm feeling so yellow in my mellow.
Okay.
I'm so happy to hear this.
Oh my God. I'm talking right now?
Yeah. What is
your
your
turn.
attachment style?
It's your turn.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know which one I am. I kind of avoid because I know when I was so like I upset for something, I really stressed and I really sad. I just want to be alone and I don't want talking to anyone. I kind of silence treatment, but at the same time I want that someone will know that I am sad right now, and someone would say that to me that fighting, and it kind of happened in the same time, and I don't know what happened to me, but yeah, I don't know. the silent treatment like make me have a bad relationship before. I have one girlfriend before, and then yeah, I silent treatment with her a lot because that time I really stressed, and I was in high school. I have a lot of exam, and I the resident of the photography club, and it's kind of bad experience. I had to do all the club thing by myself because I'm a resident, because I'm the youngest in that club, and no one listen to me, and I have to handle everything: the exam, class, the relationship, and club, like kind of in the same thing in one time, and so I stressed a lot. And then I just silent treatment with my girlfriend, like this happened a lot, and then she just say me that she want to talk to me, but I said that no, I don't want to make you like negative with me. I want to keep that negative inside my head, and I don't want to make her feel bad. So it happened like she dated another girl when we are in relationship. She cheated on me, and then she just quit in the relationship, and then she blocked me, and she said that what I deserve it. Yeah, it's kind of, so I just ignore it because I have a lot of things to do. And then when everything is done, I start to cry a lot. I don't know, it happened a long time ago, but so it's make me just want to sharing, but I want to keep it in my heart, and it happened in the same time. So I don't know what time, but it's terrible. I know.
Yeah, and I think so. Which one is more harmful is also subjective. Feeling like is talking too much and being anxious or being avoidant more harmful to your partner. So perhaps your ex-girlfriend might want you to rather be an anxious person and just throw out other things rather than just avoiding. But that's not either one of you guys' fault. I also want to share as possibly an avoidant, and I don't know if this is something that you can resonate with. There's a feeling of like you freak out when you find out someone who might possibly like you. That's what I've been feeling with people, and it's very strange because it's so when people show you affection, that's a positive emotion, right? But the way that I receive it, like subconsciously, that's something that makes me anxious, but I wouldn't like do anxious actions that make me be an.
I think maybe anxious is like a bad word specifically for that one, because I think they both operate out of like the anxiety. Like being avoidant is an anxious response, and being like panicky.
Well,
Yeah.
There's a difference in what you do. Like you feel anxious, but do you act like you are really anxious and you have impact on others?
Well,
like anxious behavior being the way that like you are expressing like those anxious fears onto someone in a way where it's then they're like it's on them, like.
I think it still does, because if you're like if you're feeling that anxious, some people get to a point where they just shut down, like they're just like back off. I know I guess that's a detail I forgot to add. Like, I feel like after my last relationship, I developed a lot of really avoidant tendencies myself. Like, okay, you know what? I used to be like a righteous like person when it came to like texting. I used to get like so offended if someone like opened it and just didn't respond. And I'd just be like, why the hell did you do that? Like, I would confront them in person, like, hey, do you see this shit? I was like, that's you. Like, you're talking like that didn't just happen. Like, I don't know. I used to be like that. But now I like get it. Like, sometimes like I'll read someone's message like fuck that shit. So I'm like, that wasn't important enough. But like now it's just me. Maybe that's just me operating like out of like hurt. Yeah. So like that's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Who's to say?
Wow.
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
I think I resonate a lot with what Joey said. Sorry, that sentence came out in random words. I resonate a lot with what Joey said about like I feel like I also, and that's why maybe I'm disorganized, because I have a lot of like avoidant tendencies too. Especially, I was talking to my sisters about this the other day. Like every time when someone,
You haven't responded to my message, by the way. I just wanted to say that.
avoidant. Every time, I don't know what
It's been
you're
5
talking
days.
about.
That's
What
silent
message?
For what?
Another
I replied to her story once. Like, I made a joke, and then I just see she's just posting like 80 different stories since, and I was like, oh, let me see if she like saw it. She didn't see it.
The silent treatment.
I don't know what he's talking about. He was responding to someone else.
I mean, I can like, well, you know, I'm not gonna do that. This isn't a safe space like that. I was like, I'm finna pull it up. It's not open.
I'm sorry, I'll check it out. Like every time I feel like someone shows interest in me, it makes me so scared because, and I was like trying to unpack that with my sisters, and I was like, people, like I feel like I know myself, and I know that maybe I wouldn't be a very good person in a relationship because I just know myself. And so when anyone shows interest with me, I'm like, you just don't know me well enough to know that you wouldn't like me. So I'm like going to sabotage this so that like I can save you of what you
see,
coming.
but yet in reality,
Because I don't want you to actually love me, and then you just find out like which I know at the back of my head I'm not as bad as I make myself sound, but I'm so anxious of like someone having a bad experience with me that I'm like, I'll just scare them off before they get to experience that. So like that's why even with friendships, when something starts to get like under the surface, I just start to like avoid people. I literally sometimes block people for no reason, and I'm like, you know what, crazy. I'm just, and I kind of like, I'm trying to rationalize it in my mind, being like, I'm saving you, I'm doing this for you, like I'm not a bad person, I'm doing this to save you down the road, which is sad, but I'm working on that. Because I can be a great friend, I think. I just don't believe in myself as much sometimes.
You're a great friend.
Well, and maybe some of the lore you've told me about being like an older sibling too. Like sometimes like you grew up the bar being so much higher. You know, like you might be able to be accommodating for other people's mistakes, but being used to not having other people accommodate for yours, and just like the need to have control over that situation because you know the failure there, it hurts so much more than it might to someone who's maybe used to having less pressure there.
And I feel like sometimes I think of relationships as being so transactional when they're not. Like I'm like, if I don't have anything to give, I shouldn't participate here. And I feel like sometimes people like me because of for example, last quarter I had a breakdown because I almost didn't get an A on one subject, and I was like calling everyone, actually having a mental breakdown, and my dad was like, it's not that serious, and I'm like, I feel like if I'm not smart, because smart is the only thing I'm good at. I'm good at being smart, I'm good at school, so if I'm not smart, like what is there to love about me? And my dad was like, where did that come from?
When I heard Lena share that with me last quarter, I was, oh my god, Lena, you can't.
I called Joy. I was calling almost all my contacts, being like, guys, I failed. Block me now. I don't deserve your friendships.
I want to explain that a little bit more based on my situation. I feel like so when people show affection or show possible evidence that they have feelings for me, I would really need to see a persuasive demonstration of why they like me.
Yes.
And if that's not something I approve of myself,
he's counting.
I'll keep talking. You're good.
How many is it?
I just don't feel confident in that person thinking so. So like, what am I proud of? If they're liking me for something that I don't think it's so much big of a deal, then I wouldn't really recognize that person's feelings, or like I would feel more afraid of accepting that person's affection just because I don't feel that's true or that's not so significant to me. Yeah, and the other thing is there would be people who I like and perhaps show the similar feelings back, but at first I will be very doubtful, which I think it's a normal thing. But then after, if that person continuously to show or kind of suggest that, yeah, I do have the similar feelings for you, and then they pull out, I just want to point out that is a very unethical thing to do. Because you've already persuaded me this far from something that I didn't believe at first place, but now I am almost with you together, and now you're saying, you know what you believed at first was actually right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I don't know what that noise was. Was
You
a
said,
guttural
ouch.
response. I was like, yeah, I felt that. Okay, so to lighten things a little. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I absolutely resonate with the things that
I
you're
felt
talking
that.
about, for sure. I know that when I was like in probably freshman year or something, there were multiple occasions where I had people approach me. And keeping clear, as maybe I've spoken to you guys about
I
as
met
far
one
as
of them.
You met one of those people? Oh.
I also met one of them.
Yeah, we were eating. What's it called? Dairy Queen. And then he was like, "Yeah, I actually asked someone out at Pierce." I was like, "Oh, who is it?" He's like, "Yeah, it's the one with the big hair." I was like, "Wait." And he's like, "Yeah, I think she works at OSL." I was like, "Oh, I only know one of those." Yeah.
The one person that works in OSL and has big hair.
Yeah, the big hair.
I kind of blocked that interaction out until you brought it back up.
I'm so sorry. I'm sure it wasn't your favorite.
It wasn't the first time it's happened either. So like,
But was it your least favorite one?
It wasn't probably. He was relatively
in the tiers,
respectful.
like S to F tier, like.
Okay, well, it's like it was just so mediocre, and it was so like something
So
that
good.
I would have heard in 6th grade,
Oh,
and I'm
no.
like, how old are you? I'm like,
yeah.
okay. I'm like, oh, I think he pulled one of those like, hey,
Oh, like what?
can you
Pickup
put here? We're doing a thing. Can you put your number in my phone? Cause for a thing, and I'm like looking around, like, is there like a camera? Like, what's? And I'm like, are you just asking me for my number? And he's like, and I'm like, I don't give my number out to people. I have an Instagram. Do you want to like? You could just. I sometimes with the pickup lines, I'm like, I understand the distress, but it would just go so much farther for you if you just actually talk to people like a normal. Maybe like, hey, I've seen you around campus. Your hair's really cool. Or,
Yeah.
hey, I don't know. I'm like, why are you gonna? Okay.
Yeah. I had a really weird experience yesterday. Someone followed me on Instagram last week, and I thought I knew them because I forget people very easily. So I just assume I know people. I'm like, there's no way they're just doing all this if they don't know me. So they've been calling me a lot of times on Instagram, and I've never picked. But then yesterday, when I was at the hospital with nothing else to do, waiting for my appointment for like 9 years, I just picked up one of the calls, and he's like, "Oh my God." He's just saying so many random things, and then he was like, "I have to come see you right now." I'm like, I don't know you, and I'm at the hospital.
crazy.
He's like, "I'll come see you at the hospital." I said, "Excuse me, sir, no." And then he's like, can I at least, I hope
this
he
isn't
doesn't say
funny.
this. He's like,
This is
"Can I
scary.
at least have your number?" And I'm like, I kept telling him, I really can't do this. Like, I'm really not feeling well, please. And then he's like,
Why didn't?
I just wanna, like, he's seen you for such a long time, and what. I'm like, "Sir, not today, please, tomorrow."
He's gonna
And it's
see
like,
this.
It's like, and I'm like, and he's like, "Okay, then just at least give me your number." And I'm like, I was so tired. I didn't
Yeah.
even know what to say. I said,
Yeah.
"I'll text you my number." He's written me like 4 times
Oh my
over the
God.
night. Text me your number. Text me your number. Text me your. I'm like,
I would have blocked that guy.
Yeah.
Me
I'm
too,
so
yeah.
scared of blocking people, and then they show up where I live and kill me. That's an irrational fear I have.
You know,
I'm so scared of like rejecting people.
and that's on being a woman.
Exactly.
So,
like I'm so like I actually
Yeah.
call my dad and be like, "Dad, this
Yeah.
person, can you please call
Yeah.
them and scare him
Yeah.
up a little?" I've
Yeah.
actually done that. I'm so scared of
yeah,
women sometimes.
that's quite
reasonable.
fair.
Yeah, lightning. Oh, you wanna?
Well, I was just going to say before that junction, in relation to what you were saying, you were like, I need a persuasive essay. I need your lists and reasons. In high school particularly, there's several instances where someone would come up to me like, you're just not like other girls, and I have feelings for you. And I'd sit down and be like, do you have a minute? Let's sit down. And then we would
find
break
out.
down. I would be like, you do not have feelings for me.
Exactly.
You have a bad relationship with your mother. You don't know me. You think it's cool that I like anime. I'm nice to you and no one's ever been nice to you before. So I would break them down and I would persuade them. I would like, here's why you don't have a crush on me. And by the end, they'd be like, wait, you actually might be onto something there. And I'm like,
What was your success
yeah.
rate? Like a conversion therapy rate.
Probably the thing is they would end up agreeing with me at the end, but the thing is I think maybe that was just a say like that's such an embarrassing interaction to
Oh
have.
man, it's totally.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
freaking humiliating.
Humiliating. But the thing is, I'm at the end of my line right now. Okay, you don't care how I feel about this at all, and you don't know anything about me. And and this is so like non-consequential to you, but the mere act of you doing this is so viscerally alienating, and I need you to experience some of that right now.
Yes.
We're gonna share the load. So usually they would end up. I mean, maybe after they go home, they would just be like, "I'm gonna cry now." And maybe they didn't feel that way. They may be like, "Oh hey, did you still want to hang out?" And I'm like, "What did you not get about the literal speech I gave you, bro?" Yeah.
Wait, do you have it on hand?
No.
Like, you just walk it out?
I'm
like the
like,
freaking
oh,
Elder Scrolls?
Someone comes up to me, they're like, "I have something I need to talk to you."
That's like your version's like, I have a boyfriend.
I pull the scroll out.
Like, hey Sadie, it's
That's great.
the Dragon Warrior. It's me.
That is so true.
And it's not something I'll do to someone who I feel like actually has more than 2 ounces of respect for me, but generally speaking, the number of people who approach you when you're like a girl,
Yeah.
I'm like, you are on level 9 delusion right now. I have nothing for you.
They make up a version of you in their head.
Oh yeah.
But that's
And
what a
then
crush is.
They get,
So wouldn't
this is
that?
not like
There's it's more than that.
Yeah.
It's like, and they expect you to kind of follow the script, and they get irrationally angry when you do not. And I'm like, I'm not who you are, who you think I am. And I've had people because of a lot of people think I'm so naive and innocent because
yeah.
I was homeschooled and I really didn't know much until lately, and so they think I'm have no idea of how the world works and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, I want to protect you," and I'm like, "Sir, if you should hear me speak to some people, I am not who you think I am." And when I do sometimes speak I've cursed at a guy before, and they were like, "Oh my God, you know who I thought you were?"
Yeah, no joke.
So I'm yeah, you made that up in your head.
Yeah.
I never promised you was that person.
Oh, it's almost like you don't think I'm a person at all.
Exactly.
Whoa.
It's
Whoa.
yeah, exactly. Which
Yeah.
should transition us into X and red flags. That you guys something you see and you're like, this is not for me. We should probably next time have a tier list of this
Are we
is
on
not
X
for
yet?
me. This one deserves to go to jail
Oh.
for just doing that.
Yeah.
This one
Yeah.
probably murder is on my mind.
Ooh.
I've been there. No, I haven't. Sorry. Please take that out. I do not want to get deported.
I don't want you to get.
Please.
Light bulb.
They'll sound part of the
Free
gang.
content.
Talk to that guy. Yeah.
Are we on X yet? Is that or did Sadie just start it
can
with
we-
that theatrical opening?
Any red flags / icks?
Yeah, I
It could
got.
be something small. It could be something
Yeah,
unhinged.
mine aren't as like crazy as yours, but I just don't like. I don't like silent treatment, like in relationship.
Yeah,
Okay, I got it.
Could we distinguish icks and red flags?
yeah. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, X is like
Icks is
it's like half
very
irrational,
surface
but like
level
half.
stuff.
Yeah,
Ick
it's
is like half
I don't
irrational,
like
half
how
valid, like-
someone choose,
Yeah.
but red flags
Yeah.
is something that's like very much.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do
Yeah.
red flags.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like silent treatment
Yeah.
when you're upset and then you don't want to explain it, and then we just have to operate like that. And then also I don't like oh crap, what is it? Oh, I don't like the phrase like I didn't ask for that. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, actually, when I say something to my partner and she's like, "Who asked?"
Because
and I
oh, that's just kind of it's kind of worse.
yeah, I say that I'm so upset.
Yeah, I'm upset. Who?
Yeah.
Me asked. Like,
Yeah, like, I'm so upset and it's like, who asked?
I mean more like, because I remember I don't know. Like, she was like telling me, or my recent ex-girlfriend was telling me, I was like careless and like an insufficient like partner, like as a person. Like I didn't care about like their well-being and their feelings. But I thought we went on like this date in Seattle, and like I spent like a lot of money on it, and I basically did everything, right? So I brought that up. I was like, so what did that mean? And she's like, well, I didn't ask for that. And I was like, maybe you didn't. Like maybe you wanted something else, but are you not gonna acknowledge that? You know, it's like that just felt like.
Let's put a pin in that. I want to come back to that.
Yeah.
That thing that you said about.
I think maybe
I didn't
like
ask for that.
yeah, I just didn't like it. But
Checking the time.
yeah, I think the silent treatment one is less controversial.
Red flag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other icks / red flags?
I don't know.
I don't like my biggest red flag is love bombing.
Oh.
I'm so uncomfortable already with receiving like affection from.
Has it happened to you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm so uncomfortable with receiving. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
there's a list of people who I accept to receive affection from, and when people are not in that list and they're very like it almost does not feel authentic if you're really just very aggressively pursuing someone.
Like it has nothing to do with like what they necessarily
Yeah.
want, and all to do with like you're like an
Yeah,
obsessive
exactly.
sort of thing.
And like not
Yeah.
They have to
I
go
really
through the
believe
process
that.
to enter that list first before they start love
Exactly.
bombing.
I
Yeah.
haven't even reviewed your application.
exactly.
Oh my.
Love bombing, it's like it's basically just manipulation.
Yeah.
And it's hard to distinguish
Or
too.
when they talk down, like when they talk to me, like I don't know how it's like infantilizing / like talking down to you / mansplaining. Like they just don't think I'm like a intellectual individual, because I really, like I've said, I really pride myself a lot on being smart because of what I told you.
Right.
Like growing up, I was always the smart one, and my sister was like the pretty one, and my other sister was like the athletic one, and I was always the smart one. So I take a lot of like pride in that. And when someone's like trying, I told someone I really cared about like how I'm doing so great in college, and they said, oh, they must have really easy classes. And I said, because I've worked really hard to get my grades. And he's like, there's no way you would have gotten good grades. They must have like some, and that's why, and he was really into that thing of like, college is a scam, like, you're probably studying like, why ants, I don't know, like,
Yeah.
it's just being, And I was really hard with that because it really like takes away from my experience. Yeah.
For sure. Do you have any icks beyond red flags?
Let me think of icks. I just this is so toxic of me, and please do not hate me. But I just
This better be
please
diabolical.
don't. I'm trying to work on this.
I'm prepping because
I'm working on this, but I have such a big ick of like watching someone try to do something and it's not happening. Think of like watching someone try to swim and they're just not, it's not happening.
So you just don't like
The topic is incompetence.
No. And like I
God
really
forbid
hate
someone messed up.
yeah, I feel like it's so pretentious to hate people for trying. Cause like when was that a thing? Like we started, like I feel like there's so much courage to try and do something that you're not good at, and it's also kind of embarrassing. But you still have like you're still brave and confident to do it. So I feel like I feel bad for feeling that, but it's just so. It's so icky to me, like watching someone like try to pour something in there. I'm just like, just let me do it, please.
Bro hates everything.
Oh my god, I hate like I remember in high school when I would watch people play sports and they're just really bad at it. I'm like, please, let's just sit. Please let me do the other people, which is so bad. And I'm working on that. Yeah.
Bro hates
That's
learning.
I'm pulling for you.
Oh yeah. I just
Yo, you know
that one.
maybe it's because I also get really embarrassed when I'm trying to do something and failing at it. So it's like I get secondhand embarrassment for other people. Yeah. It's not really like I hate them for it. I'm just embarrassed for them.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to see that. Please sit down.
I get that.
Take a sit. Yeah.
That's a strong one.
Yeah.
That one's intense.
I wanna touch on what you shared for your first point, like mansplaining and slash something else, but similar terms. I think a scenario that manifested that is like when I'm trying to do something, I know I am capable of doing that. And this might be a way that people should care for me, but I really don't like when people keep asking me if I'm gonna do the step, because I know how am I gonna do it and how this is gonna turn out. And I know you might be just asking because you care for me and you want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. But honestly, I feel like I got it, and yeah.
Like impatience and like when someone can't doesn't trust you to be to be able to do something.
Yeah, and when you think about it, like it's an irrational thought of thinking that people don't trust you. Like people say that because they don't trust you. It's not rational because they might just, they didn't necessarily think in that way. But that's what you feel. That's what I feel. It's you're just telling me that because you don't think I got the whole thing, or if I am not really capable of like finishing this myself. And it's just like, I need some personal space, and I need you to just let me handle this myself, because you have not seen what I have done, and you don't know what what experience I have, and perhaps I've done a lot of things like this before, and I did it all by myself, and why are you telling me all these now? But it's also not always that person's fault because they don't know about it. It's something that just gets me like it's a ick. Yeah.
Do you have any red flags to go with that?
That can be getting into more severe point where it becomes a red flag. Like if they are intentionally doing that, knowing that I know I can do this by myself, but just intentionally not trusting me, that would be a red flag.
Those are good ones.
Can I unpin the pin I just put in the wall for
Go ahead.
Zhan's for Sean's point.
Go ahead.
I feel like that leads us into the expectations in relationships segment, which should be our last one today, if we're being honest. Because the phrase that I did not ask that from you, I feel like is so. I honestly get offended from that because here's my thing. I feel like, and this is where we could get a bit off topic, because I know I could be taken off topic by this, but like I know it's different for maybe queer couples, but like the whole thing of like who should pay in a date or something like that, I feel like there is a lot of expectations in relationships that to me I don't like them, and I don't think should exist, because I feel like if, and I'm talking for my own experiences here as a cis woman, I feel like I never expect anything out of the guy, and if they want to, I am grateful and I appreciate that they do it, but I don't expect it out of them. The same way I don't like things expected out of me, and I want to do them because I want to do them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like I don't like coming from an African community which is very, very traditional, and it's like women should cook and clean and stuff. I wasn't raised in a household like that where my mom, she wasn't really like in charge of that really, and a lot of other people were raised in households like that, and they would expect a woman to be just like cook and clean and probably stay at home. And I'm like, when it comes to expectations, I want to cook and clean when I want to cook and clean, and I want to be appreciated for cooking and cleaning because I wanted to do that, not because I have to. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like that thing of when you're doing the dishes and someone comes and tells you to do the dishes, you feel like, no, I don't want to anymore, because I did it because I felt compelled to, and now that you're telling me to do it, I no longer feels like my own thing, which is the same thing that I felt with like, you didn't have to, like no one asked that out of you, is that first of all, expecting your partner to read your mind is crazy, I feel like, and that's something that a lot of people, they're like, you didn't do this, and you're like, you never told me, and they're like, you should know. Communication is such a big part of relationships, and this expecting to read other people's mind is very, very odd, I think. And number two, I feel like for what I feel like works for me, and this could be different for other people, is that there should not be expectations out of people in relationships that are not, especially expectations that are not discussed. Like you've not told this person, I expect this out of you, and you just want them to know, is so crazy. And also it takes the joy out of wanting to do things for each other, you know? That's how I'm starting the expectation relationship, expectation in relationship segment. Feel free to join at any time.
Well, I think with what you were saying, like to me, again, like kind of what you were saying, coming from a more of a queer perspective there, like I think in my eyes, I would consider myself to be bi, but it's not generally very frequently that I find someone who's a man that I'm compatible with, frequently for this reason. Being like relationship structures, and I can mostly only speak for the U.S., but maybe some from what you're saying too, where they're just so severely gendered, you know, where on both sides, whether things are being discussed or not, how you're raised to understand how relationships work are so severely gendered when it comes to whose responsibilities are what, and everyone came from a bit different, you know, you aren't sat down and given a list of all of the things you're responsible for. It's all just like vague, misogynistic, like just generally sexist stuff a lot of the time that ends up being like super imbalanced to what those individual strengths and weaknesses actually are. So like, you know, whether that comes to it being so gendered that it's like, oh, you should be cleaning, you should be XYZ, or you should be making money, you should be paying for things, etc. Like, which is just such an impersonal way to like, everyone is different. Everyone will have different things they are good and bad at, and it's just such an unstable way to have relationships, and I feel like most people aren't taught how to have relationships that don't look like that.
Yeah, and I feel like when we've talked about this before, and you were talking about Heart, the dating app, and you and the way you talked about the experiences that happened on that dating app made me think about how like in other dating apps that are for help me here.
Like the queer community.
Not the queer community, like Tinder and stuff, like
that's
more.
What you mean,
I don't know what the right ones. Yeah, more heterosexual dating apps. Maybe that's why they don't work as well when it just comes to like vibes and stuff, because there's so much expectation that's like bogging the relationship down, or even at the beginning. I feel like,
No, I feel like with the limited experience I have, like speaking to other people who've used dating apps or consuming media online, people talking about, like various video essays I'll see of a compilation of people. That is one of the most, the primary, like it's such a lonely space that I'll hear people say. It's like it's weirdly like something designed to help you connect with people that makes you somehow even lonelier because of the way that you're kind of like, you're putting like a price, like you're putting like a tag on yourself. It's like you're marketing yourself in a way. Yeah. And you're marketing like a person that might be you, that is supposed to fit the expectations of someone you might be interested in frequently the more like heterosexual dating apps. Like you're trying to check boxes a lot of the time in a way, I think.
What do you guys think? Cool.
I can't lie. So, like, at some point I stopped listening. But, like, that wasn't on purpose. Like, Frank texted me about something. But,
Frank is first priority.
When you were talking, you were cooking, like, for real. Like, back with, like,
Back when I heard
the gender stuff.
That was crazy.
Yep.
Go off on that, man. I have no idea what you said, but that was crazy.
Power to you. No, the gender stuff. You were talking about the gender stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was valid.
Yeah.
Like, especially that part where you said, like, especially when those roles don't adhere to their strengths.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That
was a bar. You ever seen those TikTok comments? It was like, I audibly said, There was one who was like, oh, man. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. I'm wasting time. So, there was one about cooking. Or no, they're like figuratively cooking. Like, let them cook. And they're like, if February never March, it's April, May. And I commented, I straight up said, audibly. February never March. But it wasn't about cooking. It was about like taking that leap of faith. I don't know what else.
It's cool though.
Yeah.
I like it.
Nice. That was my recovery.
This ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Not like in February, never.
Right. What are your thoughts on this?
No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up. No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
About consequence of being incompetent.
Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day. That's for you to take away. I could play
face to you there.
You said something about like there's no like guidelines.
I think that you're giving bad guidelines.
Yeah.
Like you're giving vague ones.
Would you say it is legit?
I would definitely say in the US and A, with such a severe history of religious involvement,
That's the guy.
I would say yes. I think it's very much cultural. Like there are different religions that have different structures when it comes to like gender disparity. You know, there are plenty across the world that don't have that sort of patriarchal structure to them, which inherently with the patriarchal structures, it's being sexist to both genders. You know, like, but in its just fun niche way, I would say in the US, I would credit much of that to religion. But that's just me, personally. I was not raised religious, so I don't have the same kind of input maybe someone who was would.
Like, did the patriarchy come first or religion? Or like did the chicken or the egg? You know what I'm saying?
There are like matriarchal religions.
Really?
Yeah.
I genuinely didn't believe that.
Most of them aren't like the main 5 or whatever that we have that are everywhere, but
Yeah, but they do exist.
they do exist. Yeah.
What do you mean the main 5?
And there's there are like
The big 5,
the big
like
5
Christianity.
religions.
That's
Yeah.
matriarchal.
It's no, like they're just like the 5 main religions practiced by most of the percentage of the population
Oh, you mean
of the
like
world.
like
Those are all patriarchal,
you're right. Okay.
but
Like, or are there matriarchal ones that have like influences over entire
that are
regions?
smaller. Good question.
I'm not sure
I'm not
because
educated
I'm not
on
very good. I don't know a lot about this religion,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like Hinduism is more matriarchal. I feel like.
That's like in like what, India?
I don't know.
Hinduism?
I'll say that the religions that tend to go and colonize all over everywhere, those are frequently patriarchal ones. Like you'll see in more indigenous spaces where they've retained the same religious practices that they have for a really long time, you will see a little bit more of variance when it comes to gender presentation. Whereas the religions that have gone around the world, you know, practicing colonization are like exclusively patriarchal to my knowledge. But I would love to take a religion class because I'm probably not the top voice on that. But yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I was raised religious, and the last couple of weeks, I've not rethought things, but I'm just like thinking through things, and I'm like, can this not go in the episode, please? Because I'm gonna say something really controversial.
Just cut this one.
Let's go.
Please.
Okay, cut it.
Edit whatever this is
Zhan
out.
would put this in the episode just to get me.
That's
Okay,
an
we
assumption
cut
you
here.
made.
Cut here. Shh. This is secret time.
Should we just end the episode? and say it?
You can
Yeah,
pause
I mean-
it over there.
That's true.
Yeah.
We'll come back in a minute, guys.
Maybe I want the video bit.
Yeah, you can
Next
you
time
can
on
have it
Dragon
if you
Ball
want.
is crazy.
Okay.
Next time. Next time.
I have been raised Christian like my whole life, but in the last, since I came to America, I have rethought my religion because of the last election, because a lot of the things that I consider my religion are not represented there, and they do those things in the name of Christianity, and I'm like, if this is what that stands for, I don't want to be associated with that. And I told my mom this, and I expected her to want to disown me, and she was like, yeah, that makes sense. I would also not. And I'm actually rethinking whether it's Christianity as a whole that is what I don't agree with, or whether it's how it's being represented, especially here, because I feel like I'm much more aligned with how Christianity was in Kenya. And also like I feel like if you really look at the Bible, the way I feel like if you really look at the Bible, it's quite liberal. It's very, Jesus was a lefty.
Yeah.
and it's just not what we see. It's all about like hate and divisiveness and stuff, and I'm like, I do not like. I feel like I stand for everything that they don't like. Like I'm a woman and I'm black and I'm an immigrant, and those are all things that could be seen in the Bible. And I'm like, am I also worshiping the same God that who believes that I don't deserve to like live and be free and stuff? Yeah.
Well, it's really interesting too, looking at some of, at least in the U.S., some of the history of like the relationship Christianity specifically has had with like nationalism and stuff like that, and also like in the like mid 1900s, there were a lot of instances where like the word gay didn't show up in the Bible until the 1950s. Like there was no reference to that. Like when you go down the list and you look at the things that most of the, you know, like there's a very strong push for Christian values, quote unquote, to be pressed into law at the moment. You know, I'm sure that's kind of what you're referencing to. Where pretty much none of the stuff that they are pushing in the name of Christianity is actually in the Bible at all.
Exactly.
They're completely, like, there is a level of severe indoctrination that is required. The number of Christians I've met in my short life in, like, I grew up in a very white rural town that have actually, like, read it and, like read it is pretty minimal. I can't speak to, you know, but as far as it comes to, like, you go on, like, it makes you less proud to say that you're a Christian, despite the fact, because like white supremacists have claimed it as something that it absolutely isn't in almost any capacity.
So
That's on
this
you.
is cut time and now we come back.
Okay, welcome.
You never get to know what that was.
Yeah, this is end of the series time.
Yes, that was secret podcast stuff. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed these conversations. If there's anything you think
This will end so weirdly with you cutting that, and then we just end. I think we should have one more thing to wrap up.
Do we have time?
One more topic.
One more topic?
We're an hour over.
Yeah, we
are
run
You
out
want
of
to talk
time.
about cheating?
We are up there.
Cheating?
But
Yeah, I have a lot of experience on cheating.
Okay.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
What'd you
my
say about
girlfriend cheating on me.
Wait.
Yeah, boy, free
Be
content.
another hour if we got into that.
that's a good wrap up.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk about it.
Next.
I'll talk about it. You want to talk
Next
about it?
Yeah, next time we can do this.
You want to
next
mention a
time.
couple sentences?
Well, that's kind of weak. I don't know. Hold on. We can do something else chiller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Relationships.
Boundaries of exclusivity, unless we're all like monogamous people. And that's kind of lame.
I'm not.
I am.
I am.
Okay.
What is it? What did you
Yeah, like, do you want to have like you and your partner are like exclusive, like in intimacy, or like you want to let them like do stuff with other people?
There are different structures of relationship being monogamous and non-monogamous, as far as like where you stand emotionally, spiritually, philosophically, politically. Who's to say as far as what structure of relationship you prefer or your experiences with that?
The structure of relationship I prefer.
Like between like monogamous, having one partner, and non-monogamy, where it's involved that whoever might have multiple partners in whatever capacity.
I prefer one relationship because
Monogamy.
because in a love relationship that it should be one and one. If you have another one, it means cheating, and I don't like cheating.
Right.
My ex
Mm-hmm.
have another two partners, another two girlfriends. And she said that it is because of me, and I silent treatment to her.
Because?
So she,
I
Because
love
of
when you say that.
yeah, because I silent treatment of her, and she can't find another girls to talking with, and that is my fault.
No, it's
I
not.
feel like it's
That's
only
rough.
cheating if it was not discussed beforehand that this is not allowed.
Yeah, it's not a lot. It should be not a lot because
Yeah.
we're not broke up yet, and she have another two
We've been
girlfriends.
kicked out, guys.
They said, please leave.
And
Go.
Please leave.
Yeah.
I gotta go home. She
Okay, yeah. Sean, answer your own question.
Oh, we can just leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk about
Okay.
cheating next time.
We'll talk about that next time.
Yeah.
No, I'm asking. I'm saying answer the question of like, are you monogamous?
I don't know.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us.
I don't know how to
for
answer that.
for this episode. Thank you for listening until the end if you're still here. I hope those conversations were interesting to you. If you think there's anything we left out that you'd like to hear about, you can leave it in the comments. If you think there's another topic you'd like to hear about, you can leave it in the comments. And if you'd like to join us one of those days for one of our discussions, you can DM us at the
Instagram.
Damn. All right, hold on. At the underscore podcast underscore club underscore.
We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Wow.
Should I do one of those keys? Okay, let's go.
Yeah, we done.
Man, do you want these back?
I think I would,
Higher.
but we need to get you some for sure.
So this is mine now.
No, these are mine for sure. But you should totally. We should totally get you some. They're
For
kind of
the
awesome.
headphone, sometimes I hear the zzz in the headphone, and I try
You're
to. I don't know if it's.
Yeah.